Marlene Motivates, your life coach. Welcome to today's video and motivational and inspirational topic. I want to talk about no, the word no, because when we hear no, we feel sometimes that it's final, that's all there is. It's no, and it will be forever. Some things are permanently no, but not everything. Not everything is what we think. Not everything is what we feel. Not everything is what we believe. Sometimes we need to learn to grow into something before we can be ready for things to shift to yes. And it took me a while to get to that space in my life. Like, why can't I have what I want right now? Not everything that we want right now is good for us right now. Are you mentally prepared? Are you financially prepared? Are you spiritually prepared? Are you able to handle it emotionally? It's a lot of factors involved in why a no can be taking place in our life. It's a lot of factors involved. It's not just the fact that something isn't happening. We also have to think about personal accountability and responsibility. Yes, ultimately, we are responsible for how we show up for ourselves. We are responsible for our actions. But at the same time, some things just aren't good for us. Some people aren't good for us. So that no, while it may be hard to accept it, we have to understand that that no is a protection for us. Being around certain people is not good for us. And it can involve anyone, no matter how we may be feeling about someone or how we may feel about a situation. We personally have to understand that some people are just toxic. No matter how much you care, no matter the words that they say, no matter everything that, people will lie to you, people will talk a good talk, but it's a whole nother thing to walk the walk. They will talk about how much they want to do and how much they want to be in your life, and they make all of these empty promises knowing that they can't keep it. So when people show up for us, we really need to believe who they show up to be, not who we want them to be. Hey Metro, how are you doing? Welcome. Because that used to be a thing for me before. I was always so involved in what a person was saying to me and not paying attention to their actions. How do they treat me? Do they keep their word? Or are they playing mind games? Are they manipulating you? These are the things that we really need to think about, not just that it's no. What is the reason why we shouldn't allow it? Is because they're not respectful of our boundaries? Is it because they're a toxic individual and they're going to drag you down? Is it for whatever reason? See, the no is not always a bad thing. And sometimes we tend to look at no as a problem or a setback, when actually no is helping us. No is supporting our mental, emotional, and financial well-being. Sometimes there's certain people that will pull and drain from us to where we will have a breakdown in all aspects of our life. If you've ever been around toxic and manipulative people, you know that for sure. Being around them, their aura, their spirit, their attitude is so rank that you start to absorb it. You start to feel drained because they have a draining personality, draining behaviors. So we really have to be so careful. Yes, one day at a time, Metro, right? I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. One of the things about this life is, just like Metro says, you have to take things one day at a time, but also with that, sometimes if you're really going through something, you have to take it one moment at a time and just focus on that moment. So when we go through situations, say it's a rejection and the answer came back no, that it didn't work out. You'll be asking, why did this happen to me? Like a personal attack. But some things, it's not why didn't it happen for me, is that look at it as a gift. Look at it as, what am I being protected from? What pain have I avoided because a no took place in my life? Hi, Sirius. How are you doing? Good morning. Yes, that's right, Metro. No means no, which helps us to maintain our mental health from toxic behavior. And I don't know about you all, but it took me a while to get into that reasoning and to feel like I should force things. I should keep waiting. I should just be patient. I should just keep forgiving. No, it's a warning sign. It's to protect us. If someone is not showing up for you, if someone does not care about their behaviors and how they treat you, or ghosting you, manipulating you, making you feel inferior. See, nobody can allow anything. We're the ones that accept it. We're the ones that keep letting people come back in our life. See, when no is happening, when it's someone is disrespectful, if someone is rude, if someone doesn't show up for you, so doesn't support you, or if something is not helping your mental health, that's really something important for us to focus on, our mental health. There's a lot of times where no is good for us. No is good for you. You do not need to be around a lot of individuals because they will affect your mental health. The more that you say yes to them is the more toxicity you enable their toxic behavior. You make the wrongs right because you keep accepting it, because you keep surrounding yourself by it. It's like being around, it's like in the air. You become desensitized and you feel like it's normal behavior when it's not. Yes, serious. I'm so glad to hear that. Yes, everything takes time and patience. Nothing can be forced beyond control. And that's something that we need, those reminders from time to time, day to day, week to week, month to month. We need to be reminded, don't force relationships. Don't force support. If someone is not showing up for you, it's for a reason. That's a protection. That's helping you. Don't be saddened by it. Be happy. I these days when things happen in my life, I just say thank you. I don't know what I'm being protected from, but whenever something is just not working out, I don't like try to push it and force it. That used to be the old me. Like when you would get a gut feeling when something doesn't feel right, and you would get definitely a resounding no. Don't do this. Don't go through with this relationship. Don't deal with this person anymore. Don't keep this job. Whatever it is that your spirit has told you. Do you have enough discernment to take that no and to say, yes, that's right. I need to leave that alone. I need to walk away from that. I need to not deal with this individual. I need to stop settling for less than I deserve. Yes. Hi, Lara. How are you doing? Welcome. Don't settle for less than you deserve, everybody. And there's a lot of times where we settle because we feel like Well, you've been around this person for so long, and like I say, you start to it normalize their toxic behavior. You start to allow the mistreatment as if it's okay, and it's not. It's never okay to be disrespected. It's never okay for people to manipulate you and to not show up for you. That's not okay, everybody. So don't make rationalize and keep forgiving people who keep doing the same things. Yes, we are all human beings. Yes, every single one of us, we're human. But also, we can do the right things. We can do the right things. And then some people, they just, because they're so used to their bad behavior or doing whatever they want and not thinking about the consequences of their actions. And if you don't cut it off and say, no, 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 you are not going to treat me this way. No, I'm not going to show up for you and you don't show up for me. No, I'm not going to tell you my personal business. There's a lot of things that we have to learn, motivators family. We have to learn to treat ourselves as queens and kings. We have to learn that respect has to start with me. We have to learn to really pay attention to those bad vibes. Pay attention to that bad energy. Pay attention when something doesn't feel right about a person. Pay attention to what a person does and not what they say. See, because it's always an excuse and there's always the fingers being pointed at another person. But when somebody has zero accountability, they don't care about how they make you feel. See, what they do is they shift the light back onto you. Oh no, that was you. That's what a classic manipulator slash narcissist does. Every single thing, if you highlight their flaws, if you highlight the wrong, then they put it back on you. Well, I think you're wrong, or maybe you're reading too much into it. There's never any accountability to say, I did that. I was wrong. I should not have done that. So that's the thing about life, is we should be learning and growing. Hey, realist, how are you doing? Good morning. Sierra says most people confuse accessibility with simplicity. They think that you're easy to reach. I'm not here to convince anyone to see my value. My availability is a blessing, not a given. Yes, that's so true, Sirius. And, you know, it takes time to be that woman or that man. That just because you know somebody, it doesn't mean they're always going to be available to you. If somebody is in your life, you need to show appreciation. You need to be respectful. You need to respect other people's boundaries. And you need to have compassion for other people. It's not just, I can do whatever I want and I don't care how they feel. Oh, they're being sensitive. No, you're being disrespectful. Everything can't be the way you want it to be. It has to be, you have to be giving. You have to be compassionate. You have to learn to put yourself in other people's shoes. And I'm fully convinced that there are so many people that are incapable of feeling, having that empathy, having the compassion, because they don't want to. They're just naturally a selfish person, and everything has to be about their convenience and their likability and within their control. If they can't control you, if they can't tell you what to do, if they can't manipulate you, if everything doesn't go their way copacetically, yeah, they're done with you. Yes, there's a lack of communication and trust. And that was one of the things that I think when I was younger, I really didn't understand how important communication is, because I personally didn't know how to communicate. I take ownership of that. But I learned, see, some things that happen to us in our life is not always other people. You got to own your own mess and say, you know what? I did not say everything that I wanted. I was not making it crystal clear, like there's no room for interpretation. This is exactly what I want. This is exactly what I expect. See, and I think a lot of times motivators, family, we will think that friends and family and this person and that person knows. We make assumptions, and assumptions will really mess you up. You think people care about you. You think people are supportive. You think people understand. You think people are loyal. And then when they're not, you become bamboozled because you did not pay attention to the red flags, the warning signs, when all of the bells and whistles were going off for so long. The no-shows, the no call, the disrespect, the manipulation, the lies, all of it. All of it was all there. But you failed to pay attention. You failed to believe. See, people want to walk around with rose-colored glasses, but then they don't want to accept the consequences of ignoring things. There's so many people who they have that problem of ignoring. They feel like, oh, I can live a life of convenience. I can show up when I want to. I can call or text when I'm good and ready. You know, I'm busy. They'll just have to understand. And it doesn't work that way. You can't just show up when you want to show up. You have to show up for other people as well. It cannot be only about you. It's not about manipulation. It's about boundaries and self-respect. When you set limits, you create healthy boundaries. Yes, and you create those healthy boundaries not only for others, but for yourself. When I set boundaries, it's a no to them so I can say yes to me. See, there has to be a balance of no. No is not a bad thing. No is helpful. No is good for your mental health. No is good for your finances. And also, no is good for us to not live in this fairy tale la la land of feeling that somebody is something that they're not. See, we have to stop feeling that because we love and care about people that they are going to reciprocate that same love, the same behavior. They're going to show up the same way you do, and it does not work that way. If somebody is not actively participating in a relationship with you, then it is what it is. You need to leave them alone. You have to be honest with yourself. And I say that all the time. You can sugarcoat and you can lie to yourself all you want to, but you know the writing is on the wall. You can see something is just not working, but people will force it and lie to themselves and tell themselves all this, oh yeah, everything's good, it's working out, they love me. No, you love them. They don't love you back. See, love is a two-way street. Love is an action word. And if someone is not actively participating in showing love the way you need to feel love, then that's not love. That's a facade. It's a mirage of what maybe you believe. And when you lie to yourself for a long time, when you fail to look at the warning signs, then later on we suffer the consequences, which include heartache, heartbreak, sadness, loneliness, all if when we find out, I don't think they're a good match for me. That's not a good friendship. That's not a good business deal. That's not a good romantic partner. I see pain ahead. When you look at the no and say, this, I need to say no, this is not good for me, it's helpful to us, not hurting us. Yes, you got to show people, you got to show up for you first. And I definitely had to learn that part. I didn't get that form of communication. I didn't get that talking to your spirit like how I talk to my nieces and my nephews and my friends and people that I care about, I talk to their spirit, not just saying things to sugarcoat or walk on eggshells around people. I tell people the reality. I tell people things with love. And I also have to talk to myself with love. No matter what you want to believe, this isn't working. So don't force the envelope. Don't force the situation. It's better to let go before all the feelings, before you start saying, I invested all of this time in the relationship. And you know how it goes. We tell ourselves, I invested all this time, I invested all this money. You know, you become invested in situations, and sometimes it's so difficult to end it and to walk away that you feel like you can't do it. So you keep letting them hurt you. You keep letting them use you, feeling that one day it'll change. Oh, it's going to get better. And you feel like, oh, I'll be kinder. I'll love them more. No, they're going to use you more the more you keep doing for them. And the only healthy thing to do is to cut them off and then say yes to yourself. Because I deserve better. And I want you to say that to yourself, Motivators family. I deserve better. I don't deserve garbage treatment. I don't deserve to be no-showed. I don't deserve to be lied to. I don't deserve to be disrespected, ghosted. None of it. Don't let people treat you that way. And then you keep taking them back like it's okay. And here they come with their excuses. Oh, I was busy. I was going through something. Yeah, all of us are. How about that? Yeah. Hi, Creatively Miss Me. How are you doing? Welcome. I had to say no yesterday to someone, and they actually got mad and tried to change my mind on the no. Yes, that's a tactic that so much people use. They want to persuade you because they want to know how how much value you see in yourself, how serious, how committed you are to something. They feel that like if they try to guilt you, that's a main tactic of manipulators. They want to guilt you into doing something, guilt you into staying, guilt you into doing something for them, guilt you into giving them money or more time or chances or forgiveness, whatever it is, so that they can continue to do the same behavior because they will never change. If somebody is not good for you yesterday, they won't be good for you today. If something is not good for you right now, most likely in the future it will be worse. Got to learn that life lesson. Yes, absolutely serious insecurities occur. Yes. Yes, you have to support people who care about you. And care is not just the words. And that's what I think a lot of times we focus on the words. Somebody saying, I care for you. I love you. I'm here for you. And then it's crickets. It's nothing. Okay, if you care so much, if you love so much, then how are you actively participating in the relationship? If somebody is not actively participating in the relationship with you, there is no relationship. That's one-sided. It's a bunch of hot air. Yeah. So honestly, at the end of the day, we have to understand that no is good for us. No sets limits. No helps us to keep our self-respect, grow our self-esteem, keep our mental health, not squander our money on foolishness, not feel that we have to explain why we live the way that we live, why we spend our money the way we spend. No is a complete sentence. You don't have to explain why things are no, but you know, the people who are very insecure, manipulative, controlling, and jealous, they want to know a reason. Why is it no? Because it's no, and that's it. Stop explaining yourself, Motivators family. When you know you don't want to do something, you know you don't like something, something is just not working, it's just no, and walk away. You don't have to explain things, and especially when it comes to relatives. We will explain, 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 and still, the majority still don't get it because all they want to hear is, are you going to do what I asked you to do? Are you going to let me in your business? Are you going to let me in your life? Will you let me in your heart over and over again? And knowing that they're not going to change, knowing that there's going to be pain involved, knowing that your peace will be disrupted. Mm-mm, that's not good. See, when you know better, you do better. It's not just saying we love ourselves. It's about how we actively participate in our own happiness. I remember when I was in therapy and that light bulb came into my mind. I say I love myself, but how am I actively participating in loving myself? How do I treat myself? How do I allow other people to treat me because of their behaviors? And it does matter. Don't let people use you and abuse you. Don't let people disrespect you. Don't do it. Right, serious. They will weaponize you, your empathy, to trap you and erode your trust in your own reality so that you can become more dependent. See, I learned something and I've never read it, but it's my own thoughts and interpretation that some people want you to be a crutch. You know, they want to have you disabled just enough so that they can control you. Okay, do this. You know, dance, puppet dance. Move over here. Do this. You know, they want to have you not fully dependent on them, but just dependent enough that you feel that you need them and you have to be around them, and you don't need anyone. What you need is yourself. You need your mental health. You need your peace. You need to handle your business. You need to set boundaries. See, self-respect starts at the beginning of self-love. If you don't respect yourself, other people won't. And maybe people may not like what you say. They may not like the treatment that you give them. They don't like that they can't control you anymore because you have a solid foundation of loving yourself, and you can recognize the cracks in that person. You can see their flaws. You can see the lies. You stop lying to yourself. So when something isn't working, Motivators family, let's stop. Let's stop. Let's stop lying to ourselves. Let's stop letting people treat us disrespectfully. Let's stop waiting for people to change. Let's really pay attention to the red flags and be like, you're not good for me. I'm not growing. And I had to learn that while not everybody is a bad person, but there are people who just aren't good for us because they don't have peace, or they're not moving along the same road that you are. When you have on a road of motivation and positivity and self-healing and self-respect, and when you're accountable, you need to have other people in your life that are also accountable for their actions. They're not going to play mind games, and they're not going to make excuses with you. So some people, you just got to put them back on the shelf. You know, some people aren't fully cooked yet. They're not fully mature. There are other individuals where the elevator doesn't go to the top floor. They're not mentally stable. And it's not to throw shots at anybody. It's the reality of life. You know, it's better to recognize it right now than to hurt yourself and add more pain later. Learn the lesson now, Motivators family. Learn the lesson now. Everybody isn't good for you. Everybody is not going to be your friend. Everybody isn't going to show up for you. And when you recognize that, this isn't all it's cracked up to be. then have enough courage to walk away. Have enough courage to close a relationship. Have enough courage to enforce your boundaries. Have enough courage to love yourself enough to say no and enforce it. It's not just no and you're kind of like, wavering. You, you're teeter-tottering on two opinions like, no, I know I shouldn't, but if they try to guilt me, then I'll give in. No, that's not good. And you confuse yourself and you confuse other people. You have to love yourself first. If you don't love yourself, nobody is going to love you back. And you'll feel so drained. And I know that feeling. You're giving so much to others, but nobody is giving you anything back. And it's because you are not paying attention to those no's. You keep doing for others, expecting for them to do for you, and it will never happen. Because if it hasn't happened yet, it's not going to happen. People aren't going to change unless they want to, and most don't want to. If you allow people to get away with things, if you allow people to run over you, if you allow people to lie to you, if you allow people to disrespect you, you allow people to no-show, make problems, add pain, disrupt your mental health, that's what they're going to keep doing to you. See, when you know better, you do better. Don't waver. Stand firm. Stand strong on that. There's no room for error when it comes to being disrespected. There's no error. There's no excuses. You can make all the excuses in the world. There's some things that some people can never come back from. You can't come back from the manipulation tactics. Maybe before, when you didn't know your worth. Maybe before, when you didn't love yourself. Maybe before, when you didn't have enough courage. But now today, Motivators family, what do we know? We know our worth. We know what we deserve. We know we don't have to take it. We know if we don't like something, we communicate it. See, that's a difference between them and then and now. That's the difference between today and having enough discernment. See, you can discern things from way far in advance. It's not working. It's not good. I feel drained. There's manipulation. Oh, this person does this and this. If somebody does things to others and you know it's disrespectful, why are you allowing them to do that to you? Just because somebody has not done anything yet, it doesn't mean they won't eventually. It's all a matter of time. That's all. It's just they haven't done it yet, but it doesn't mean they won't do it eventually. Eventually, one day, the mask will fall off. And that person will you'll be revealed. But, I honestly want to guard, your heart. I want to guard your wasting your time. I want to guard you from wasting your energy. There's so much time we waste on people who wouldn't even give you the time of day. They don't care. But you're putting all this energy into helping them and supporting them and giving them so much leeway, so much wiggle room, and they give you none. Have you ever made a mistake or done something and they come out of a bag on you? But you're supposed to give them all the leeway, all the room for error, right? And it doesn't work that way. So I wanted to come on and to talk to the Motivators family and to say, when you recognize, when you discern, when you see the red flags, when someone is not doing what they are supposed to do and you know it, or you feel it, or the energy is off, or you've been manipulated or lied to, cut it off. Say no. Say no. I know that it is a very fearful thing to say no sometimes. And maybe you don't want to say no, but ultimately you have to think about your benefit. It hurts. It saddens you because there are certain people that we really do care about, but we cannot let other people, the love we have for them, exceed the love we have for ourselves. No matter how much you care about somebody and love somebody, it should never exceed the love you have for yourself. And I think a lot of times many have it unbalanced. They care more about their romantic relationship or their friendships or their relatives or their job or everything. And what happens, Motivators family, you become last on the list. Even you may not even make the list. Good morning, Paula. How are you doing? Yes, you have to give them what they give you. And it's a warning for us. It's a protection for our mind, our body, our spirit. When we feel, when we discern, when we understand what happened, don't backtrack. Don't feel that, oh no, it's just me, because that's something that I used to do for a long time. Especially when people play mind games with you. You know what that person said. You know how people make you feel. When people make you feel this small, or they run over you, like, walk on you, trample on your heart, and then expect for you to keep taking it over and over again. And yes, for a time, maybe you have. But today we know better. Don't let people treat you like you're trash. We're not trash. You have to love yourself first, everybody. And I always promote that healthy self-esteem, not to be egotistical, not to have this inflated ego, but have a healthy amount of self-esteem so that you can respect yourself, so that you can recognize when someone is treating you in a way that you don't deserve. Every single human being deserves respect, but some people don't respect their own self. So you have to leave those people alone. You have to shelf them or block them or move away, because not everybody is meant to be for us. Oh, thank you so much, Sirius. I appreciate it. So I honestly wanted to come in and to chit chat with everybody. Sirius says, okay, I think I read that one. Yes, I did. Yes, amen. Amen. Thank you so much for being a channel member, Sirius, for 17 months. I truly appreciate you. And I want every single one of you to really pay attention to discernment, pay attention to the energy that people show up in your life. And when you know something is not good for you, have the courage to walk away. It does take courage to walk away. It does take courage to not let people use you. It does. But we deserve it. And in the long run, later on, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next week, but one day you're going to be grateful that you stood up for yourself and you set those boundaries, or you cut off toxic relationships. It's good for us. So no is not always a bad thing. Sometimes that no is for our benefit. No is for our protection. And no is for your peace of mind. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day and that you have peace today. And I hope that you're setting those boundaries and not letting people run over you and use you. I'm Marlene Motivates, and I am your life coach. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're watching in the replay, please leave me a comment in the comment section below. And you know what I always say over here, everybody. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life. Sending you peace, positivity, and blessings. I'm Marlene Motivates, your life coach. And I will see you guys back on the next one.